Ladies and gentlemen, there are moments in life when the loudest thing you can do is remain silent. The world teaches us to hustle, to prove ourselves, to constantly speak, explain, and defend, but in reality, true wisdom and success come when we learn the power of quiet strength. I have learned that silence is not weakness, it is an act of faith. It is believing that what is meant for you will find its way to you without force, without struggle. We live in a time where everyone is in a rush rushing to be heard, to be seen, to be validated. But have you ever noticed that the most powerful forces in this world, love, destiny, healing, transformation, never happen through noise? They happen in the stillness of your heart, in the silence of your soul. When you stay silent, you create space for the right things to come. Think about the sun, it never rushes to rise, but it never fails to show up. Think about the river, it never fights to flow, but it always finds its path. Life works the same way. Many times we believe that if we don't speak up, we will be forgotten. If we don't fight for things, they won't be ours. But let me ask you, have you ever forced something only to watch it slip away? And have you ever let go, only to find that what is truly meant for you finds a way back? Silence does not mean doing nothing, it means doing everything from a place of peace. When you are quiet, you hear the voice of wisdom guiding you. When you stop trying to control everything, life begins to work in your favor. So today, I urge you to stop chasing, stop forcing, stop explaining yourself to those who are not willing to understand. Instead, be still. Be silent. Watch how everything you truly deserve naturally makes its way to you. The universe has its own timing. Trust it. Because when you do, you will see that the greatest blessings are those that arrive unannounced, effortlessly, gracefully, and in perfect harmony with your journey. Silence is often misunderstood. In a world that celebrates noise, action, and instant responses, silence can be perceived as weakness, passivity, or even avoidance. But in reality, silence holds immense power. It is a force that allows wisdom to surface, clarity to emerge, and strength to be cultivated in the deepest corners of our being. When we react loudly to situations, we give away our power. We let external events dictate our emotions, and we become prisoners of impulse rather than masters of our own minds. In contrast, quiet observation gives us the upper hand. It allows us to see beyond the surface, to understand what is truly happening, rather than getting lost in the chaos of the moment. The greatest thinkers, leaders, and visionaries throughout history understood the power of silence. They knew that wisdom is not found in the noise of arguments, but in the quiet moments of reflection. Silence gives us the ability to analyze, to comprehend, and to respond with intention rather than emotion. It teaches us patience, self-control, and the art of discerning when to act and when to let things unfold naturally. In relationships, silence can be a tool of strength rather than weakness. When conflicts arise, the loudest voice does not always win. A person who knows when to stay silent, when to listen, and when to respond carries an undeniable sense of confidence and wisdom. Silence allows us to observe the intentions behind words, to understand what is truly being said, and to choose our responses with care. It prevents unnecessary conflict, saves energy, and ensures that our words carry weight when we finally choose to speak. Beyond conversation, silence plays a crucial role in personal growth. When we sit with ourselves in silence, we allow our thoughts to settle, our emotions to be processed, and our hearts to communicate what they truly desire. In a world filled with distractions, taking a moment of silence is one of the most powerful gifts we can give ourselves. It helps us understand who we are beyond the expectations of others. It helps us reconnect with our inner voice, the one that often gets drowned out by the opinions and judgments of the world. Silence is also a source of strength in times of adversity. When faced with challenges, many people panic, react hastily, or become overwhelmed by frustration. But those who embrace silence during difficult times are able to see beyond the immediate struggle. They understand that storms pass, that emotions fluctuate, and that wisdom is often born from stillness. Silence allows for careful decision making, for deep introspection, and for the development of resilience. In a world that often demands instant reaction, silence teaches us the value of timing. There is a time to speak and a time to listen. There is a time to act and a time to observe. Those who master the balance between silence and speech, between action and stillness, are the ones who move through life with grace and purpose. Moreover, silence is not about suppressing thoughts or emotions. It is about creating space for clarity. When we quiet the external noise, we begin to hear the wisdom within. We recognize what truly matters, what deserves our energy, and what is merely a distraction. Even nature itself thrives in silence. The most powerful moments, the rising of the sun, the stillness of the night, the quiet growth of a tree, happen in silence. Nature does not rush, does not argue, does not seek attention. It simply exists, and in its silence it flourishes. Silence is a strength that cannot be taken away. It is a choice, a discipline, and a tool that allows us to navigate life with wisdom, confidence, and peace. It gives us the ability to see things as they are, to remain calm in the face of chaos, and to understand that true power does not always need to be expressed through words. Patience as a virtue. When you stop chasing, the right things naturally flow into your life. Patience is often seen as the ability to wait. But in truth, it is something much deeper. It is not just about enduring time. It is about trusting the process of life. It is about surrendering the illusion of control and allowing things to unfold as they are meant to. When we stop chasing, when we let go of the desperate need to force outcomes, we begin to realize that the right things naturally come to us not through struggle but through alignment. In a world that moves at an ever-increasing pace, patience is often mistaken for weakness. We are conditioned to believe that if we are not constantly working, striving, and pushing forward, we will be left behind. Society teaches us to rush to success, rush to relationships, rush to prove ourselves. But in this rush, we often miss what is truly meant for us. We become so focused on what we want right now that we fail to see that life has a way of bringing us exactly what we need at the right moment. Patience is not about doing nothing. It is about doing what we can and then allowing the rest to take shape naturally. It is about planting the seeds and trusting that they will grow in their own time. A farmer does not pull at the roots of a plant to make it grow faster. Instead, they nurture it, water it, and trust that nature will take care of the rest. In the same way, when we stop forcing things to happen, we create space for the right opportunities, the right people, and the right moments to enter our lives. So often we chase things that are not meant for us. We chase relationships that are not aligned with our growth. We chase jobs that drain our energy. We chase recognition that is not rooted in authenticity. And in this chasing, we find ourselves exhausted, frustrated, and lost. But when we pause, when we trust, when we have the patience to let things come in their own time, we begin to see that what is truly ours cannot be taken away. And what is not meant for us will never stay, no matter how much we chase it. Patience teaches us resilience. It teaches us that temporary delays are not denials. It reminds us that just because we do not see immediate results does not mean our efforts are in vain. A mountain does not form overnight. A river does not carve its path in a day. Great things take time, and the sooner we embrace this truth, the more peace we will find in the process. One of the hardest lessons in life is learning to let go of timelines we create for ourselves. We often say, by this age, I should be here. By this time, I should have accomplished that. But life does not work according to our deadlines. The moment we release the need to control the timing of everything, we make room for unexpected blessings. We begin to see that life's timing is far more perfect than anything we could have planned. Patience is also a test of faith. It is believing in what we cannot yet see. It is knowing that even in moments of stillness, growth is happening. Just as the roots of a tree grow beneath the surface before the first leaves emerge, the things we are meant to receive are often forming behind the scenes before they become visible in our lives. When we trust the process, we no longer feel the need to rush. We understand that what is truly meant for us will find us, not because we chased it, but because we aligned ourselves with it. We learn that patience is not about waiting, it is about trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. The world is filled with noise, constant chatter, opinions, distractions, and demands. Everywhere we turn, there is something pulling at our attention, urging us to react, to engage, to keep up. In the midst of this chaos, it is easy to lose ourselves, to become consumed by the voices of others, to feel overwhelmed by the expectations placed upon us. But within each of us, beyond the noise, beyond the external turbulence, there exists a place of calm, a still, quiet center that holds the essence of who we truly are. Silence is not just the absence of noise, it is the presence of awareness. It is the space where we can hear ourselves think, where we can listen to the whispers of our soul, where we can understand what truly matters. When we embrace silence, we step away from the distractions of the world and move towards self-discovery. We begin to see ourselves more clearly, to understand our emotions without judgment, and to recognize our own needs and desires without interference from the outside world. In moments of silence, we learn that peace is not something that comes from external circumstances. It is not found in achievements, in validation from others, or in the illusion of control. True peace comes from within, from the ability to remain still even when the world around us is chaotic. It is the understanding that no matter how loud life gets, we have the power to retreat inward and find our own sanctuary. The world will always be loud. There will always be distractions, opinions, and pressures trying to pull us in different directions. But when we cultivate inner peace, we are no longer controlled by the external noise. We become grounded, steady, and unshaken. We realize that the chaos outside does not have to become chaos within. Silence teaches us patience. It allows us to slow down, to reflect, to process our thoughts without rushing to react. When we are silent, we do not just hear, we listen. We listen to the world, to others, and most importantly, to ourselves. We begin to notice the patterns in our thinking, the fears that hold us back, the dreams we have buried beneath the noise of daily life. And in this listening, we gain clarity. We start to recognize what truly brings us joy, what drains our energy, and what aligns with our purpose. In a society that glorifies busyness, silence is often mistaken for loneliness. But solitude is not emptiness, it is space for growth, for understanding, for reconnecting with the self. The most powerful realizations, the most profound insights, and the deepest healing often come in moments of stillness. When we embrace silence, we also cultivate emotional strength. Instead of reacting impulsively to situations, we learn to pause, to observe, to respond with wisdom rather than emotion. We become less affected by external negativity, less influenced by the noise of opinions, and more in tune with our own truth. Silence teaches us that we do not have to attend every argument we are invited to, that we do not have to explain ourselves to those who do not seek to understand, and that sometimes the best response is no response at all. Inner peace is not something we find, it is something we create. It is a choice we make every day to step away from the chaos and into our own stillness. And the more we cultivate this peace within ourselves, the less power the external world has over us. We become unshaken, not because life is easy, but because we have discovered a sanctuary within that no external force can disturb. Everything in this world operates on energy. It is not just an abstract concept, it is a force that shapes our reality in ways we often do not realize. The way you think, the way you feel, and the way you carry yourself all create an energy field around you, an unseen force that speaks louder than words. And whether you are aware of it or not, the energy you emit determines what you attract into your life. Life is not happening to you, it is responding to you. Your thoughts, your emotions, your intentions, they all set the tone for what unfolds in your reality. If you constantly focus on negativity, on lack, on fear, you will find yourself surrounded by situations that reflect that very energy. On the other hand, if you choose to operate from a place of gratitude, love, and confidence, life will mirror those same vibrations back to you. It all begins with the mind. Your thoughts are like seeds, and your energy is the soil in which they grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, insecurity, and resentment, do not be surprised when your life is filled with obstacles and disappointments. But if you nurture thoughts of abundance, peace, and self-worth, you will soon see those very things manifest around you. The energy you emit is not just in what you think, but in how you carry yourself. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt drawn to someone not because of what they said, but simply because of the way they carried themselves? That is the power of energy. People do not just hear your words, they feel your presence. If you radiate confidence, people will naturally gravitate toward you. If you carry yourself with kindness and warmth, you will attract those who reflect the same. Your emotions also play a crucial role. Energy is not just about being positive all the time, it is about authenticity. Suppressing your true feelings does not raise your vibration, it only creates resistance. But when you process your emotions with honesty and self-awareness, you allow your energy to flow freely. And when you operate from a place of inner balance, you attract people and situations that align with that harmony. Intentions matter just as much as actions. It is not just about what you do, but why you do it. If you help others with the expectation of receiving something in return, your energy is rooted in selfishness, and that energy will be felt. But when you act from a place of genuine kindness without attachment to the outcome, that energy will return to you in unexpected ways. The universe does not respond to what you pretend to be, it responds to who you truly are at your core. Your energy also influences the kind of relationships you attract. If you constantly find yourself surrounded by toxic people, ask yourself, what energy am I putting out? Are you allowing negative patterns to repeat? Are you setting boundaries that protect your peace? The people you attract are often a reflection of your own internal world. When you elevate your energy, you will notice that certain people will naturally drift away because they no longer match your vibration. And in their place, new connections will emerge, ones that align with your growth. Opportunities work the same way. When you doubt yourself, when you tell yourself that you are not good enough, that energy creates invisible barriers that prevent opportunities from reaching you. But when you carry yourself with certainty, when you believe in your worth without needing external validation, doors begin to open. You start attracting experiences that align with your inner strength. At every moment you are broadcasting a frequency, and the world is responding to it. It is not magic, it is energy. When you align yourself with the energy of what you truly desire, whether it is love, success, peace, or happiness, you create a space for it to flow into your life naturally. We live in a world that teaches us to take control, to plan every detail, and to force outcomes in our favor. From a young age, we are conditioned to believe that the more we push, the faster we will get what we want. But in this endless pursuit of control, we often forget one of life's greatest truths: the universe moves in its own rhythm. No amount of force, worry, or resistance can change what is meant to be. The urge to control everything comes from fear, the fear of uncertainty, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough. We believe that if we micromanage every situation, we can prevent pain, disappointment, or loss. But control is an illusion. The more we try to grip tightly onto life, the more it slips through our fingers. True peace comes not from controlling everything, but from trusting that everything is unfolding exactly as it should. Letting go does not mean giving up, it means surrendering the need to force things that are not ready to happen. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every hour to check if it is growing. You water it, give it sunlight, and trust that it will bloom in its own time. The same principle applies to life. When you have done your part, there is no need to obsess over the outcome. The energy of forcing things only creates resistance, while the energy of trust allows things to flow naturally. When you stop trying to control everything, you make space for better things to come. How often have you clung to a job, a relationship, or an opportunity that was clearly not serving you just because you were afraid to let go? Sometimes what we hold on to so tightly is the very thing that is blocking our blessings. When we release what no longer aligns, we create room for what is truly meant for us. Resisting the urge to control does not mean being passive. It means being intentional. It means putting in the effort, taking the necessary steps, and then allowing life to unfold. You do not need to chase what is meant for you. Will never require you to beg for it. If something is right for you, it will align without excessive force. If it is not, no amount of control will make it stay. Think about the moments in your life when things fell into place effortlessly. The friendships that formed naturally, the opportunities that arrived without struggle, the moments of joy that required no planning. These were not forced. They were aligned. The same principle applies to everything. When you stop resisting the natural flow of life, you begin to move with it rather than against it. Trying to control everything also drains your energy. Worrying about every possible outcome, overanalyzing every decision, and stressing about things beyond your control only steals your peace. There is freedom in trusting that life knows what it is doing. The universe is not working against you, it is working for you, even when you cannot see it. Every delay, every detour, every closed door is redirecting you towards something better. Surrendering control also strengthens your intuition. When you are not busy forcing things, you can actually hear the guidance within you. You become more aware of what feels right and what does not. You start making choices from a place of trust rather than fear. You recognize that life is not a battle to be won, but a journey to be experienced. There is a certain peace that comes when you realize that you do not have to control everything. You do not have to force people to stay. You do not have to stress over things beyond your power. And you do not have to manipulate situations to work in your favor. Life has a way of working things out when you step back, breathe, and allow it to unfold in its own time. Life is not a puzzle to be solved through control. It is a rhythm to be trusted. The more you force things, the more resistance you create. But when you let go, when you trust the flow, everything that is meant for you will arrive effortlessly. The greatest strength is not in controlling everything, but in surrendering to the natural course of life. Patience is not just waiting, it is believing that what is truly meant for you will never miss you. Silence is not weakness, it is the space where clarity and wisdom emerge. And letting go is not losing, it is making space for something greater.